Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Money decisions don't have to be either or. With Bank of America, they can be yes and. Like yes to sunny vacations and rainy day funds. Can our digital tools and guidance help you create the future you want? Yes. And help you keep enjoying today too. Do more with a bank that asks, what would you like the power to do? Explore our tips and more at bankofamerica.com/yes and.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Craven the Hunter, who uses all the methods of the animals.
This Thursday, witness the making of a new Marvel villain.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
Aaron Taylor Johnson is Craven the Hunter. Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Derek Oakley, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Drink it in, everybody.
Drink it in, man.
Side of cornbread.
Cornbread!
Make it a double.
Cornbread!
And, gosh, I am fired up for this show. Going solo again. Chops is on a luxurious vacation with his wonderful family, and who knows what he's up to, somewhere warm, enjoying life. Shout out to him. But I'm here in the cold of Michigan, but I'm feeling good because the Detroit Lions are 12-1. Easy dub against the Green Bay Packers. Well, maybe not so easy, or was it easy? I mean, this game was so hyped up. I was so excited about it. The football team played so well. It went back and forth at the end. We got lots to talk about. Get into that. I really don't have any, like, I was trying to think, like, what do I want to talk about on the pod? There's lots of little things I can get into, but I think what I'm going to do is just spend most of the time kind of going through and emphasizing how big this win was against the Cheddarheads, the mozzarella sticks from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Give you some rapid fire takes at times, and then kind of get you ready for this Lions Buffalo Bills showdown at Ford Field. Buffalo thinks they're going to come over here and take over Detroit. That ain't going to happen. Two really good teams. You know, I think I'll get to it later, but I think Buffalo is playing above their head, to be honest. People love the quarterback, but start looking at their other players, both on offense and defense, and I'm surprised at their win-loss record. I'm surprised of all the hype they're getting. They win when their quarterback takes over. They lose when he struggles or turns the ball over. Straight up simple. So we'll get into more of that because that is a big game. I think it's going to be a fun watch, but I think there's some definite advantages for Detroit, and excited about that as well. So let's not mess around. Let's get right into it. I mean, when I got the summary up, because sometimes what happens, I swear I watch these games and like the lead up, I get so hyped, and you know, you got life and craziness and work and family and everything going on around you. But I swear those Thursday games, man, I just get riled up. You get a good meal in you before you know it's game time. And I was ready. I had fresh cornbread out the oven. I mean, I had a couple ice cold Detroit Koolaids ready to go. And I was fired up for this game. So you can imagine what I was thinking when, you know, early on, kind of mid first quarter, we had Demo, faux show, another sco, you know, let's go. I mean, this guy continues to just pound the rock. Every time he runs, I can't tell if he's teeter-tottering, ready to fall over, or if he's jump cutting, or if he's running people over, or if he's got sweet feet and he's avoiding people. Every run looks like it can go for anywhere from a 1 yard pickup to like 20, depending on if he could stay on his feet and run a couple people over. And usually it's more like the 20. You know, faux show, Demo. That's what he's been doing all day. So for him to get in the end zone again, I mean, talk about easy dub. I just remember this being just an easy walk-in for Demo. I mean, he didn't have to run anybody over. He didn't have to tip over. He didn't have to lean forward. He didn't have to do any of his normal shenanigans. He just waltzed in the end zone, which was great to see. I mean, you love seeing the way they scheme those up, as well as what I think, if I remember correctly, they got the 2-3 tight ends set, and they got the tight ends pulling, and Laporta just pushing people all over the place. You got Brock Wright out there doing what Brock Wright does. You know, you even got the flying Zylstra brothers, as Matt Derry, shout out Locked On Lions, calls Shane Zylstra out there. More of a pass catcher, but he gets it done in the blocking game as well. But you had Laporta, Brock Wright, I think, just pulling on that play, and Demo just doing what he does, finding the end zone, faux show, another sco. So that got us off 7-0. Next thing you know, my boy Jake Bates from, what was this one? So a little easy 43-yarder, probably went, 90% up the net, maybe went to the crowd the way this guy kicks the football. 10-zip. Then, the Packers got going. Don't get me wrong. They kind of put a nice drive together, went all the way down the field, started getting their run game going. And another guy, I really liked this player. I thought he was a nice addition. I always get mad when teams in our division get nice additions. And that's what I thought Josh Jacobs was. For all the people in the Detroit Koolaid Cast Fantasy League, this guy was my first pick in round 1. 20-team league, so it was at the very back of round 1, scooped up Josh Jacobs, and I don't know, on the turn went around and got King Henry, who are carrying me to what I get, first, second seed, whatever that is. We'll see how I do in the playoffs. We all know it's always a crapshoot, but Josh Jacobs had a really nice year. He ends up putting some runs together. They put a few things together, gets a 1-yard plunge into the end zone. So 10-7, you're thinking, it's a tight ball game, but we're doing some things, and sure enough, I mean, that was about with 5 minutes left. Then the Lions, I mean, they just march down the field, take all 5 minutes off the clock, go down, get in tight, and then sure enough, third down, can't get it in, second down, whatever it was, they get the fourth down. What were they, probably inside, right around the 5-yard line? Actually inside of that, from about the 2-3 yard line. And Ben Genius, I mean, this guy, you know that we absolutely love him on this show. You guys know that, right?
Ben Johnson, I love you. Ben Johnson, you are my hero.
Thanks, Lomas. Exactly. But Ben Genius, draws up this play, fourth down. What have I been saying since the preseason? What have I been saying week after week after week on this show, time and time again? I'm like, You got to get the ball in the passing game to the guy who's a multi-dimensional, positionless. Wait for it. Elite weapon, Jahmyr Gibbs. And on this play, I swear, it's from the 2-yard line, but they got Gibbs offset right, whatever. He runs out. He gives the linebacker the old whoopsie fake, double shifty, wiggle magoo. Just the nice crispiest route. Just the old two-way go. Give him the old stanky leg to the right. Cut him off front. Cross his face. Easy. I mean, I don't know if this was a wobbly spiral or maybe this is one of the few zingers that good old JG16 threw, but this was just an easy ball because it was an easy route by a guy who's just a simply elite weapon and a elite pass catcher. I've been saying it. He's special. You have to use him in space. You have to throw him the football. We all love how he can run outside. He's shown you a lot of pop, run up the middle. I get it. But if you want him to be absolutely special and reach his full potential, you got to throw him the ball, which they did in this game. What do you have? He had like 6 catches for probably upwards 50, 60 plus yards and this touchdown. So absolutely love this play call. I tweeted it out. If you guys don't follow me, you need to do so at Derek Oakery. That's spelled the only way you can spell it. DEREK. Don't give me any of this double R Rick at the end. No. Like DEREK OKRIE at Derek Oakery on the Twitterverse. When I can, which like I said, normally I bunker down for these Lions games. I love it if I can just be like to myself, some good food, some Kool-Aid and cornbread, and I've been trying to be on the Twitterverse during games. I've been giving you gimmicks, I give you reactions, I give you takes, I give you predictions. So I've been trying to do that. So if you want to go check it out, I was loving this play call. Just an absolutely sick route, great throw, great catch, great touchdown, again on 4th down from Dan Freaky Campbell, which we'll get into here in a bit. So that was the halftime score, 17-7. Late touchdown by the Lions to go up 10. You gotta love it.
This year, Santa's bringing the power of Energizer into his workshop.
Whoa, the Energizer Bunny's got so much power.
Wait, he's powered up all the toys. I think that means we're done for the year.
I love this bunny.
He's the hardest working helper the North Pole has ever seen. And he wants all your gifts to have the power of the #1 longest lasting AA battery. So this holiday season, stock up on Santa's and the elves' favorite battery, Energizer Ultimate Lithium.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Meaningless stuff. Why do we gift so much meaningless stuff? Tired of generic gifts and hollow trends? Shutterfly allows you to create meaningful photo gifts for your family and friends. Whether it's a cozy fleece blanket for grandma, a stunning canvas print for mom, or a mug to make dad smile. Enjoy 40% off with code MAKE40 at Shutterfly.com and make something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
With Uber Reserve, good things come to those who plan ahead. Family vacay? Reserve your ride as soon as you book your flights. To all the planners, now you can reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. See Uber app for details.
Deck your home with Blinds.com. Blinds.com. DIY or let us install. Blinds.com. Free design consultation. Free. Plus free samples and free shipping.
Head to Blinds.com now for up to 40% off select styles plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
And, you know, the cheddar heads, the mozzarella sticks, you know, they come out third quarter, you know, they go down and they get a Tucker Kraft touchdown. You know, what did I hear? Like, rumor and innuendo, him and Kirby were yakking and John and maybe doing even more than that in the tunnel before the game. You had the other Matt LaFleur thought he's going to fight one of our people that was just trying to hold the flag, or was the flag guy trying to fight him? Who knows? That's all rumor, innuendo. But word is there was lots of craziness going on in this game. But, you know, Tucker Kraft, I'm shocked. I didn't think he was going to be much in the league. He's turned out to be a nice tight end. I actually thought the other kid, Musgrave, was going to be the pass-catching dynamic player for them, even though he's kind of a wimp. He's kind of washed out, doesn't do much, doesn't play much. Tucker Kraft seems to be that guy. 12-yard passing touchdown from Jordan Love, which I probably have said it before, but I got to do a PFF game with Jordan Love when he was in college, and he jumped off the film to me of a guy that just makes plays off schedule, can throw off platform, had some moxie to him. So when he went to Green Bay in the draft, I was not very happy. I have him as my dynasty, deep dynasty quarterback in a crazy league that I run for realitysportsonline.com. You guys should all check them out. Join a league, get with me, join one of my leagues. But I do have him in a league there, and he's young, he's talented, he's a good player. You know, so he made a play there. So 17-14. You know, you're still feeling good. You know, Lions get the football. We kind of don't do much at that point. Next thing you know, another drive put together by the Packers. 6-yard rushing touchdown by Josh Jacobs. Now, I think this, if I'm correct, I believe this, between these two touchdowns, was the Dan Campbell 4th and 1 on my own 30. He just decides to go for it. They flip it out to Gibbs, which I don't mind the flip. You know, kind of tossed it out to him wide. He usually gets upfield, has Penne pulling for him. Usually that's an easy money first down. So I don't mind the play call. I do and did before and after mind going for it at that point in the game. 17-14. Ball's on your 30. Did I mention that part? You know, this whole stuff with Dan Campbell, which I'll get into in a minute. Dan Gamble is, I support our coach. I love our coach. I love our aggressiveness. I love the culture and the mentality and the moxie that he's built. But there are times where I know that you're sitting there feeling it and you're like, wow, if we can't get a yard, then we don't deserve it. Okay, that's all fine and well. But there's also something to be said when you're on your 30. Did I mention that for a third time? It's probably better to punt the football. So I didn't like this decision. I'm not one of these guys that goes back and second guesses everything or waits till it doesn't work and then say, oh, you should have done this, should have done that. But this is one that I didn't love just because of the ridiculous. If he's at the 45, I don't have as much of an issue. If he's on the other side of the 50, I'm saying go for it all day, but that's really deep in your territory. He doesn't get it and gives the Green Bay Packers a short field, which then they cash in with a 6-yard Josh Jacobs touchdown. 21 for the Packers, 17 for the Lions now. Down by 4 points, which is very rare for our football team. But sure enough, you know, before you know it, 5 minutes left on the clock in the third quarter, Jared Goff and the Lions go down the field. Again, this was another 4th down, deep on the 3. You could kick it. You know, everybody knows that the Reverend Caldwell and Jim Schwartz and, you know, Captain Rod Marinelli would have just kicked it and played the normal C's, but nope, Dan Campbell, 4th and 3 from the 3. We don't want a field goal. We're going to get a touchdown, and sure enough, Tim Patrick, baby, cashes it in. Nice to see him get it in the end zone. The Lions have so many weapons that a lot of times guys like him, Brock Wright, Khalif, Raymond, Khalif, Raymond get lost in the wash. They'll dial up all these, Sage Zylstras of the world for these wide open touchdowns inside the 10. You gotta love it. So Tim Patrick, been a really nice addition. Big target, good football player, good dude. Finally glad to see him healthy. That was his big thing. His knee just kept falling off every year. It was like, hey, Tim Patrick's back healthy. Week later, tore his ACL out for that was his story. And now he's been healthy. He's been productive. He's a good teammate. Nice to see him get in the end zone. So we're heading to the fourth quarter. 24-21. Lions now in the lead. But early in the fourth quarter, another 4-yard plunge from Josh Jacobs. That gives him 3 tugs. Makes it 28-24. Goat cheese. And then you got the Lions that come back on a 10-play, 70-yard drive, taking up 5 minutes. Another touchdown, a 1-yard score to Tim Patrick, making it 31-28. Packers come back, 9 plays, 56 yards, another 5 off the clock. They kick a field goal, 31-31. Now, here's what I loved about this. Matt LaFleur, again, little whiny, little wimp over there with his, gosh, I don't know how much time he spends edging up that stupid beard. He's always wearing the vest. He just looks like he's got too much pomade going on in his hair. He's just a little chump, just like a guy that you just don't like when you look at him. And yeah, you could tell, oh, he's an offensive wizard. He's from this tree, and look at what he's done. Look at his wins. Like, what's he won that ever meant anything? Nothing, exactly. So, you can't stand him, and that's probably why the flag guy tried to fight him before the game. He didn't want any of that smoke, but, this is a time where he could have went for the jugular. No, he does what most NFL coaches do. Oh, I'm going to play the percent. I'm going to kick that way. It's the conservative, and nobody will get mad at me. Okay, well, what you did is you just tied the game up against the Detroit Lions. You gave us 3 minutes on the clock. I think we had multiple timeouts. And what did we do? We methodically went down the field, 11 plays, 53 yards. But before we got to that, we got over the 50. We got time. We got plays. And sure enough, what happens? We get to third down, and we have basically an easy field goal in our pocket. But Dan freaking Campbell is looking at the clock going, yes, I know I could kick this field goal, but I also know that is not only leaving them time out or time on the clock. They have a good quarterback. My defense is all beat up. And we're less than a yard away from just ending this clockwise. And even if we miss the field goal, then we'll take you to overtime. So he had so many things going in his favor of why he should and did go for this. Now, the part I get that people could fight on it is this wasn't a 50-plus yard field goal. This wasn't man, we really need some more yards. You had everything in your pocket, so going for it on fourth, yes, there's risk involved because you could get blown up. An offensive lineman could step on the quarterback's foot. You could fall down. You could mishandle the snap. You could do a lot of things that wouldn't get the first down. But you also could just give it to Demo, faux show, another first down, and then just bleed the clock, kick the field goal, and win the game. And that's exactly what the Detroit Lions did. So it's absolute onions and moxie by Dan Campbell. It's no fear. It's alpha mentality. It's also brilliance because the clock is really what matters. This isn't, is my field goal kicker going to make it as a 35-yard kick? This is what happens if we leave them with X amount of time with their quarterback and with our current state of our defense. And he's smart enough to understand that there's all those factors that don't play into analytics and you can't put on paper, and he knows his football team, and he knows he can get a yard when he needs a yard, and that's exactly what he did. So he went and got it. It's a great call. I'm not just saying that because it worked. I'm saying that because there's so many things that make so much sense now and after the fact, where most coaches are going to just do the safe thing. They're going to kick. They're going to just, do what is easy, so that even if that doesn't work, they can just say, well, I want to take the lead there, and I thought our defense could hold them, and they wouldn't look at any of these other factors or have the guts that Dan Freaky Campbell has. So I loved everything about it. I'm looking at my clock here. I think I went about 15 plus minutes here on this review. I didn't plan to do that, but that's a big old dubski for the Lions. That's a division dub. That's a not so easy dub, but that's why we come on the pod and say easy dub, because it's more fun that way, and because yes, we had to work for it, but we pretty much had this game right where we wanted it throughout the game. Green Bay made a nice little second half push. We kind of looked at him and said, oh, that's nice. You're going to tie the game up at the end, but leave us $3 on the clock along with some timeouts in our pocket. Yeah, we'll take this win. Went down the field, and you had to have this one. You could not lose a game in your division, in the NFC, at your house, and they didn't. And for all you nerds out there, all you radio heads, all you people that want to think the sky is falling, who are sitting there going, I don't know, they're kind of beat up. This is probably the game you'll lose. And then you would always end it with, but I sure hope they win. I think they might. Maybe if. Me and Chop, we both knew. I told you on the pod they were going to get this dub. I told you it was going to be high scoring. It was exactly that. I'm not sitting here talking about, we're probably going to lose, but I hope we win. And this, I have told you, it's going to be crazy if the Lions end the season 16-1. That would be unbelievable, and it's becoming more and more believable day in and day out. But no, I'm not going to come on here on a Thursday primetime at the Den against the Cheddarheads and talk about how we're going to lose and the reasons why. And I heard someone get on the radio after this win saying they need to lose quick or else they're going to lose in the playoffs, just because he's one of these superstitious, everything evens out. I was just like, you're insane. That's another insane take. So I think the probability is that they can and will drop a game at some point, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and predict it when I don't think, and I thought they'd find a way to get this game. They found a way. They don't apologize for it. They were beat up. It didn't matter. They find a way to win, and I love everything about it. So drink in that dub, everybody.
Drink it in, man.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
How do you feel great on vacation? Like really good? Easy. You go to Aruba. You'll spend your time relaxing on cool white sand beaches and floating in healing blue water. You'll immerse yourself in natural wonder and find your center on an island where things move at your speed. You won't just feel great, you'll feel relaxed, renewed, and ready for life. That's the Aruba effect. Plan your trip at Aruba.com.
Gift sport with gifts from Nike. From the retro Vomero 5 sneaker designed with Zoom Air cushioning to fleece engineered with lightweight warmth and next-level comfort, we have the perfect gift for any athlete on your list. Shop now at your nearest Nike store.
This episode is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. There's a lot to be thankful for this season. For one, I'm thankful you can get NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV right now for only $209. It's exactly what you need as we head right into the playoffs. You can invite your friends over. Maybe you have a multi-view. You could have 4 different games, one for you, one each for the 3 other friends you invite. You can change the games around. As soon as the outcome becomes pretty certain, dump that game, put in another one. I've become the multi-view master. The moment the one of the games is losing steam, I'm ready to move right in and move it for another one. Build your own multi-view, one of my favorite words. Thank yourself this holiday season. Get NFL Sunday Ticket for the rest of the NFL regular season for just $209. Sign up now at youtube.com/BS. Terms and embargoes apply. Device and content restrictions apply. No cancellations.
What's up, guys? It's the champ, Sean O'Malley, here to talk to you about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money while watching football. Run your game on Prize Picks.
Prize Picks will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Just download the Prize Picks app and use code SPOTIFY. That's code SPOTIFY on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Let me do some real quick. I got a few topics on my brain, rapid fire takes before a commercial break, and then when we come back, I'll do a couple thank yous to the people, and then Buffalo Bills preview. Big game, another big game. So, rapid fire takes. I mean, Dan Freaky Campbell is the coach of the year. It's not even close. Anybody else that you want to talk about is some washed up guy that either has won it before or doesn't deserve it or doesn't have what Dan Campbell has. So, just give him the trophy now. I mean, the guy has not only rebuilt this team, this city, this culture, he's rebuilt like Detroit sports just with the way that he approaches life, the game, his attitude, his just ability with the players, the media, everything in between. So, coach of the year, Dan Freaky Campbell, mark it down. It's, what does Chop say? Hashtag mark it. Yep, do that. Will J-Mo get to 1,000? I was actually kind of surprised to see his numbers. I do have him in a few fantasy leagues, and he has produced nicely this year at times. But I was surprised to see he's only like a couple hundred yards away from 1,000. Now, 1,000 when you play 17 games is really not that much when you break down the numbers, but he's had big plays, he's had swaggy plays, he's a good teammate, so if he can get to 1,000, 1,100 and score a few more touchdowns, yeah, it'd be a really nice year for Jameson Williams. Hashtag JMO Fast. So I hope he gets there. Hashtag JMO Fast. I hope he keeps those legs going, get that speed rolling. I like what he's done. I'm still not blown away. This isn't the kid that I saw at Alabama just making wow plays all over the field and just looking absolutely special every time he got the football. But they still don't use him enough, and they still don't just kind of find ways to get it in his hands. But I like those crossers. I like the sticks he's been running. It's funny. The last game I was thinking, man, all the passes I'm seeing out of J-Mo are like 8-yard sticks or, a 15-yard cross. Where's my 50-yard bomb? I want that back, after now he's doing other things. I want what he used to do well. And one more quick rapid fire. I'll get a few more after the break. Jack Campbell is getting a lot of love, and, we rep him now on the show, a.k.a. Revord. Country fed, no haircut having, big belt buckle, son of a you-know-what. But, I didn't love the draft pick. I didn't think that he was a dynamic player that we needed. Now that he's here and I see how much he loves ball, what a good teammate and what a good dude he is, I've said he's going to be a cult hero. And to me, that's kind of what he is right now. He stepped in for Fabio and, he's doing his thing. And people are just, oh, Jack Campbell is playing so good. Dan Campbell Jack Campbell, the best game of his career. And, I watch him a lot, and I'm just sort of he's where he needs to be. He's really physical. He makes the plays that are there. But he hadn't really done anything yet that wows me. I'm talking a play and a turnover type play, getting the ball out, tip ball, pick, sack of the quarterback, something really nasty from the linebacker position. He just been really, really solid, which, don't get me wrong, that's no knock on the player. I'm not upset with him. I'm just saying, I'm kind of waiting for that Jack Campbell, maybe when things slow down even a little bit more. Sometimes I do see him wilding out of control or kind of still maybe the game's rolling fast for him. He is in there doing his thing, but he seems to be a great leader, but I'm just waiting for those bigger plays rather than the 4-yard, after contact tackle where everybody else didn't get him and Jack Campbell ran him down out of bounds or, hit somebody hard, but it was 12 yards down the football field. So I'm expecting more from Revord, and I think that he can do more and will do more, but right now it's just like he's giving you meat and potatoes, solid play. People are blowing him up because they love the guy, they love the draft pick, but I just don't think the wow factor has been there. I'm hoping it'll come, almost like that Spielman, where it's just like a little bit more of, nasty, grimy, also getting some turnovers, getting some impact plays to help this team get up over the top. So that's what I got there. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to our sponsors, fast forwarding through our sponsors, checking out our sponsors, sharing the show. All that stuff helps out so much. We continue to see just ridiculous growth. Obviously the team's balling, so it's just cool to see all the listeners, people shouting us out. It helps us keep the thing rolling. We can get all those sponsorships and do that up bigger than we've done before, so that's all really cool. And like I say, this show's been rolling for 4 or 5 plus years. I don't even know how many episodes we have now. I want to say we went over 500 like a while ago, but I don't even have those stats in front of me. But tons of shows to go back and listen to. Lots of craziness, lots of predictions, lots of hilarity, and lots of football talk. So if you love ball and you want to go back in the archives and pull up an old draft show or pull up an old game recap, those are really fun to listen to as well. But the Lions are leading the North. The Lions are the number 1 team in the whole NFC. They're probably going to be the top team heading in the playoffs. All roads go through Detroit. Everybody, please listen to our sponsors. And I got a whole lot more for you right after the break. Everybody, I'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the new generative AI assistant from AWS. Many tasks can make business slow, like wading through mud. Help! Luckily, there's a faster, easier, less messy choice. Amazon Q can securely understand your business data to help you streamline tasks, like summarizing quarterly results or doing complex analyses in no time. Q got this. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You can put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now. Kool-Aid drinkers, we're back. Thank you so much for listening to sponsors. Okra here on the solo show. You guys know how I do. Normally when I do these, I can't get to as many funny drops as I normally like to do. But, a couple weeks ago, a game happened on Saturday. So, this is still true.
Hey, listen. Ohio State sucks.
They're still vanquished.
Ohio State is vanquished.
I mean, we're serving up that Kool-Aid and cornbread for the people.
And the people consist of the millions.
I told you Green Bay wasn't tough enough. They couldn't handle it.
They can't handle me. They ain't tough enough yet. I'll put him down to his knees, buddy.
Yeah, I understand, Beetlejuice. I understand. I got it in my head, dude.
Yeah, I understand. I got it in my head, dude.
Exactly. So, you guys know I love to get to all those. If Chops was here, he'd probably hear stuff like this.
Woo! Woo! Hashtag choppy liking.
He'd probably, go on and on and on about, like, I don't know, talking about the quarterback, his love for the quarterback. You know, you'd probably, like, be sitting there like, yeah, we know, man. You love Jared Goff. We get it. And then before you could even get anything derogatory out about the quarterback, he'd hit you with something like this.
I don't want your bula support when it comes to Jared Goff. You don't get to join the Goff train. You're off, bro. You're off.
And, like, he would say that you're off the train, but then, of course, me, because I'm much more welcoming and I, like, you know, I don't necessarily love the wobbly spirals, but I mean, all aboard the Goff train is what I say. There was recent rumored innuendo that this guy could be back. I don't know, NFC Championship, maybe earlier.
Unleash Hutch.
Exactly. I mean, Dan Campbell is excited about it. You know that. Like, I mean, he's ready to unleash Hutch as well.
Unleash Hutch. I'm ready to unleash Hutch.
So, like, before you know it, you might hear this music. I'm just saying. So those are just some off-the-cuff sound drops. That's normally what we do. We love to get the drops, the music, the gimmicks in. But when I'm doing solo, I can't really do as much. Those were all off the top of my head real quick. But let me get back into my rapid-fire takes. And then I'm going to go long again on the Buffalo Bills preview. And then I'll get you guys out of here with the score prediction and whatever else comes to mind as we get rolling. So other rapid-fire things I had on my mind is just like, you know, here we are 12-1. We're still the number one seed, as I said, in the NFC North, in the whole National Football Conference. I'm curious what your guys' takes are on the people, like I noted earlier, that are thinking we need to lose so we get it out of our system. You've heard me be a little trepidatious that I just would be shocked if the only game that we lose all year is the game that me and Chops were at against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of all teams. That just doesn't happen in the NFL. But I'm looking at this schedule and, like, you've got the Vikings and the Eagles. Like, they don't lose either. Like, we're 12-1. We should be like 4 or 5 games ahead in the NFC North. We should be at least 2 to 3 games ahead of any other team in our conference. And we're not. We're 1 game ahead of both of those teams. And we play Minnesota at the end of the year. We now have kind of the advantage. I don't know all the details, but I heard that because we beat Green Bay, like, if we were to drop a game, I don't know, to Buffalo, like, we still would have the edge on Philly, which is important to me because all I want, I don't care, 12, if we lose 1 game, 2, 3, whatever, as long as we are the number 1 seed in the NFC and all those home games and you get that bye, that's all I want, because I think that's a almost guaranteed trip to the Super Bowl. But what's your take? Do you think they need to lose? I can't imagine anybody other than the morons that you hear in like 97.1 that call up and go, "Hey, my name's Bill. I'm 58 years old and I've been watching the Lions for my whole life and I've been a season ticket holder too, in case you need to know that. But I think they really need to lose a game or else they're going to lose in the playoffs." I'm here to, like a terrible take like that. And these people believe that. They call up and they think that's like a good opinion, or they think that because they're 58 and they've been a season ticket holder that they have some type of knowledge or credit that none of us other people have. And it's so stupid. Like, I could never imagine myself calling up a radio station and giving my age, my bio, and then giving a terrible take like that so other people could hear it. And like, on a radio show or anywhere. I mean, we say some stupid things on this pod, don't get me wrong, but we don't come on here and do stuff like that. So, I don't know. I'm just of the opinion that it's very hard to rip off 12, 13, 14, 15, I don't know, 16 NFL dubs in a row. But the Lions are getting damn close, and the game we're going to preview here in a bit is really their last big hurdle to get over, if you ask me. I know there's some teams after that have some name cachet or that might look a little dicey, but no, they're not. Those other games are straight up hashtag easy dubs, in my opinion. And then you've got the showdown against Minnesota. So anyway, before we get to that, I just think a lot of you, we all need to be positive. Again, I told you, enjoy this ride. I've told you that this is what we've been waiting for. Like, not only my whole life, all these people that say they're 58, 86, 62, 95. It's like all of you have said, I've been waiting my whole life for the Lions to be this good or to have this type of season. And here it is, 12-1. Big game this Sunday, a couple more after that, and then a big showdown to end the year. Like, you couldn't ask for anything better as dream season, no question about it. So enjoy the ride. Not necessarily a rapid fire or a take, but the take, I guess, would be you don't need to lose now because it has no impact on if you will or will not lose in the playoffs. You need to win all the games because you need to have home field throughout, and you got two teams. I think my buddy Wagner even hit me up. He's like, this is absolutely absurd, Okri. Like, we keep winning, but these other teams keep winning. How are we one slip up away from not winning our division or not having home field? And I couldn't agree with him more. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let's see what else I got on my brain here. Let's talk about these subs, these new additions, these newcomers that just like literally, we always joke about somebody coming straight out the bowling alley, but that was usually guys like Flew, Andre Fluellen back in his day, or we've had quite a few guys that like the Lions would cut, call back, and usually when they weren't playing for the Lions, they're down at the local bowling alley shining shoes, getting the ball when it gets stuck in the gutter. You got that guy that's got to walk halfway down, push it with the broom, and then go in the back where it comes out and fix all that up. That's usually where these guys hang out when they're not playing ball. But like, these aren't those guys. These are just nasty football players that everybody thought were done. And Brad, always open for business, Holmes and Dan freaking Campbell are like, that's a damn football player. We can give them something to do. We can coach them up. We can get them to do what we need to produce. And that's exactly what they've done, man. It's unbelievable. These guys show up on like a Sunday, practice for like a day or two, and they're starting against the Green Bay Packers in prime time. We're talking about Jamal Adams. What about my boy Muhammad just out there? This guy is just doing everything. We got, we got linebackers. You got Quan Alexander, who had like 3 knee surgeries that all of a sudden is out there making plays. I mean, there's too many of them to mention, but it's like these guys are absolutely balling, and straight up shout out to Aaron Great, our defensive coordinator, as well as just all these guys that are coaching these guys up, making it simple, getting them ready, pushing them hard, whatever they're doing. So these guys come in and absolutely play ball rather than what we're used to, which is guys coming in here and just looking like absolutely bumbling idiots out there. They don't know the plays. They're not in condition. They're not working hard. They just came here for the check. Those days are over. So shout out to all the subs, the newcomers, the guys that just come in here. Next thing you know, they're wearing grit hats and Brian Branch t-shirts and all this. And they're producing on the football field, which is the best thing they're doing. Last rapid fire or take before we get into this preview, like, is Tim Patrick an upgrade from Josh Reynolds? I know a lot of you are really down and want to beat up Josh Reynolds because he dropped a couple footballs, and I guess I'm kind of here for it because they were like the 2 biggest footballs of our life on 4th down that would have won us the NFC Championship. We would have went to the Super Bowl and absolutely destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs last year. But, I mean, he was a hell of a guy, a really good player for, 3 seasons here. Did a lot of nice things, always said all the right things, did all the right things. Once he had those drops, it felt like he was kind of trying to get out of town and go cash in, which he did with Denver. Denver cut him. It seemed like we didn't really want him back. But the reason we didn't want him back is because Tim Patrick almost seems like a better version. He's a little bit younger, a little bit bigger. He's a little bit more productive and fits in just as well as J-Ray did. So I'm here to tell you, like, I didn't see myself saying this early on or before they picked him up, but Tim Patrick has been an upgrade from Josh Reynolds, and Josh Reynolds cost us a very big opportunity, but I'm saying Tim Patrick is going to be one of those guys that helps us get that opportunity this year, go to the Super Bowl, hopefully play the Chiefs, and then beat the piss out of the Chiefs this year, slap them around. I would love to just go to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are like, oh, we're hoping to win our third, and all the fun story of the Lions coming. We just beat them by 20 plus in the Super Bowl. That would not only be tremendous, that's basically my take and my prediction right now, is what I want to happen, what I think is going to happen. The Lions are going to have home field. They're going to mow through teams. They're going to win those games, and then they're going to go to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going to edge their way there with all this lucky BS they've been getting, and then everyone's going to pick the Chiefs, and they're going to say it's a dynasty, it's this and that, and then the Lions are just going to beat them like 41-24 or something ridiculous and just show out in the Super Bowl, and we're going to be dancing in the streets. So there you go. There's something to get you hype and to drink in right now before we get to that moment. Drink it in, everybody.
Drink it in, man.
I think that deserves a double side of cornbread.
Cornbread.
All right, let's get to this preview of Buffalo. I have no notes, no stats for Buffalo. I know some of you are turning this off because you tune in for these stat breakdowns and, hey, give me something I didn't already know. What I'm going to give you is a fan's perspective and a hype session about what this game is going to be. And when I look at it, it's an absolute showdown. It's so cool. The Lions have had 3 home games at Ford Field in a row. At the back part of the season, we got screwed on the bye week, but the fact that we could just play Chicago on Turkey Day, Green Bay in prime time, and then get a 4:25, everybody's watching in the country game, 12-1 Lions. What's Buffalo like? 10-3, I believe that's what the record is like. You got Josh Allen coming off this game against Matty Statty over there where they both put up 40, and Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing. You've got, but they lost, but it was so entertaining, and, you got all this hoopla going in this game, and it's actually warranted. And the crazy part is, I feel like Buffalo's on the verge of getting Kincaid and possibly Keon Coleman back, and, I've always been a big proponent of Kincaid as a player. Now, again, I think over the last 10 years or so, we've sort of elevated these tight ends that they're going to be these amazing, mismatches and game changers and touchdown monsters. And I'm a victim I'm guilty too of that because I bought into Kyle Pitts' hype. He's been terrible. I mean, absolutely terrible, Charles.
That's terrible.
I agree. I don't understand why that guy is not good. He's got everything he wants, probably other than the heart to be good, and they don't get him the football. But same with Kincaid. I thought he was going to be really, really good in this offense with Josh Allen, and he's just sort of there. He's been hurt. When he isn't hurt, he's just like a 50-yard, no touchdown type of guy on a lot of weeks. But he's a weapon. Keon Coleman, to me, was a guy that I saw the flashes and the athleticism, but he wasn't a guy that I was blown away with in the draft process. I liked his youth. I think he was 21 coming into this draft, and I did take him in a few mocks to the Lions because I thought getting a guy with his size and youth would be that nice offensive piece that we would just go crazy offensively. Glad they didn't do that. And Keon Coleman's had a few flashes, but he's been hurt, has a wrist injury or something, and I don't know. The Bills built him up to be the guy they wanted, and we got the best receiver in the draft. And I was Keon Coleman is kind of a goofball off the field as well as just a guy that he's always going to wow you with a few plays here and there, but he's never going to be a 1,200, 10 touchdown type dynamic wide receiver 1 type. He's going to be just a flash player, fun personality that gets you 806 on a good year or just over 1,000 and 3-4 touchdowns on a bad year, right? That'd kind of be his career if I had to guess. But I mean, they have players other places. They have these bargain bin receivers like Shakur and, who Curtis Samuel from that school we shall not speak of, who's still vanquished, by the way.
Ohio State is vanquished.
I couldn't name really anybody on their O-line. It's basically their quarterback, a couple skill players here and there. Again, their running backs is like James Cook is a guy that I've had in a few fantasy leagues, but most of the time I pass him by. He can have big games and do really well. He also can be non-existent at times, and I kind of like some of their grimy, backup guys like Davis, and they got my boy, who is it? Why is the name escaping me right now? Frank Gore Jr.'s kid, right? They got him tucked away somewhere on that depth chart, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm only scared of Josh Allen running the football on us and chucking it deep. If he can't do either of those things well, he's going to be a turnover machine and get kind of flustered. And he's a big physical dude. Don't get me wrong. He's hard to get to the ground. Really good guy, and just puts up a lot of numbers. Congratulations. But you barely beat us a couple years ago when we didn't have nearly as good of a football team. So payback's a you-know-what. And when I look at their defense, you kind of go around and you're like, a couple good players on the D-line, a couple tackle machine linebackers, some decent guys on the outside. They used to have some really good safeties. Now they're playing, guys that I wouldn't say are that great, back there. They ain't that great, to quote the show from years ago. But I think they're a good, dynamic team at times, and I think that they get a lot more hype than what they have with substance. That's my take. So their record's good. They have a flashy quarterback. They put up a lot of points sometimes, but when you really boil it down, do they have a real nasty, hard-nosed team? I don't think so. Do they have a great head coach? I don't think so. Do they have a team that has all types of high-flying offensive players you have to scheme for? I don't think so. Do they have defenders that can just shut you down or just blow up your whole run game and your quarterback and get him off his spot? I don't think so. So with that being said, I still see this as a great, fun matchup. You already know what the Lions have going. The Lions are a team where we can out-physical you, we can out-finesse you, we can outscore you, we can hold you down to minimal points thanks to how our defense has grown and how good AG Aaron Great has been this year from a coaching perspective. We can beat you with deep field goals. We can out-scheme you when it comes to our normal plays or our trick plays. We can basically do whatever, whenever, however. And I think this is another game where it's going to get a lot of hoopla and it's fun, but I think that the Lions are superior in every way to the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, their fans can come here with their chicken wing hats and their garb on, shout out to them. They tailgate like crazy. They got a bunch of goofy gimmicks they do over there. They don't got much else other than Buffalo Bills over there in Buffalo, but they love their football, they love their team, and they're starving for a winner just as much, but not as much as we are. So you can bring your fans, your gimmicks, your hype, but when they kick the ball off, I see this as a game that Jared Goff has a chance to go crazy. He already has been balling a little bit with those 3 touchdown, 250, 280. You could see this as a 304 type touchdown game from him. I'm thinking, Amon-Ra. He's had some games. He's found the end zone, but he had that game. a few weeks ago he balled, right, with like 160 and a score or two, but I'm thinking another big game from him. All the little Laporta supporters have been out. He's sort of been doing little things here and there. I could see him getting into it. You already know our run game. I'm expecting and I'm predicting a big game from Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't know if you've heard, but I think you have, especially if you listen to this show, that he's elite. And I think he'll show it in this game, pass catching, running the football. I expect a 50-yard plus touchdown from Mr. Gibbs. J-Mo has not done anything big, like I said recently. So if I had to put another bold prediction out there, I'm thinking a 40-plus yard touchdown for hashtag J-Mo fast, up over the top too. Not a catch and run, but more of just a burn you with a deep flag or a corner route, and you just launch it, and he's just wide open. So I see this game as being fun to watch, lots of hype. When it comes down to it, I got lots of points for both teams. Even though our defense has been balling, I'm going to give us a good amount of points on both sides. I know I've been kind of going crazy with points for the Lions, but give me 45 for the Lions and give me 34 for Buffalo. A lot of those points coming late, and we're up 10 plus. So I just think it's indoors, perfect conditions. You will see late points by Buffalo. You will see a lot of points and a lot of good plays from the Lions. And I know that's a lot of crazy points in an NFL game, but 45-34, a 10-plus point win against Buffalo in our house. That's how it's going down. That would put the Lions at 13-1 with Chicago, heading out to San Fran, got Minnesota at the end of the year. Loving that. Loving how we're setting ourselves up, and just go get this win. And if you don't get it 45-34, get it 13-10, just like a game I saw a couple weeks ago. Get it 28-21. Get it 21-20. I don't care. Find a way to get that dub. Hopefully an easy dub. And everybody, I'm hyped for this one. I hope you enjoy it. Get hyped about our football team. All we're trying to do is get that number 1 seed. Home field throughout. If you're a season ticket holder like I am, you'd be paying out the nose for those playoff games, but you sit on that bye week. You get that game, and then you get the NFC Championship game in our house. That's what we're shooting for. We got a hell of a team. We're going to have a hell of a team for years. And drink it in, everybody. Drink that Detroit Koolaid, double-sided cornbread.
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread.
Everybody, that's what I got. And I'll catch you next week right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. I'm out.
Pack the bag. Start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions. Drink it in, man.